Hey guys, welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast or Blue Pill Podcast, depending on where we go with this episode, because today we're actually covering some true crime. It doesn't matter because I put everything out on Conspiracy Corner anyways, but it might not be super conspiracy today. Because sometimes I find subjects that, I'm not gonna lie, just interest me in general. You know, I am into other things besides conspiracy. I just finished eating, so I got hiccups as usual, burps and hiccups. You guys know how it is. This is what it looks like in Kentucky today. Little weather report. Hopefully it stays that way because I actually love this type of weather. So famous actor got arrested. It was the 8th. I didn't find out about this until, I think it was sometime last week. And I wanted to report on it then, but I hadn't watched the footage, and I hadn't, read, transcripts of the police cam and what was said and shit. So I did watch some footage of it, the arrest, and I did read an article and kind of make some notes on I don't know, I laugh, and I'm not making fun of this actor. This is actually an actor that I really like. Haley Joel Osment got arrested, and first of all, growing up, dude, I was a huge fan of Sixth Sense, man. When that movie came out, M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, I love, almost all his movies. I ain't gonna lie. Even, because a lot of people didn't like The Village. I thought The Village was awesome. There was one with a mermaid. Something in the water, Lady in the Water. I loved that one. Everyone thought that one sucked. That plant movie where the plants are killing people, that one, I like it. It's different. It's goofy. I don't know. The style of it is just kind of it's just funny how silly it is, you know? So, I grew up watching Sixth Sense, and one of my all-time favorite movies. It's just an awesome fucking movie. Sadly, it's never as good as the first time you're watching it because, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis is a ghost, you know? So, whenever you watch it again, it's just not that good. It's still a good movie, just you already know about it, and the red and the clues that were left during the movie that keep you trying to figure it out. And there's always that Shamalama Ding Dong twist in the movie, but either he makes amazing movies or he makes the worst, shittiest movies. It's hit or miss, dude, with him. But I also was a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts, and a lot of people didn't know this, and I didn't know it for the longest time. He was the voice of Sora. Final Fantasy is my favorite video game series ever. So obviously I got into Kingdom Hearts, which, if you don't know, Kingdom Hearts is basically Final Fantasy mixed with Disney. Disney characters, Final Fantasy characters. It's cool as fuck. And the main character, his name's Sora, which is voiced by Haley Joel Osment. And I didn't know that for the longest time, and then whenever I found out, I was like, what? Hell yeah. And I don't know, man, I always notice, my favorite actors usually kind of, drop out of Hollywood. And I'm assuming because they know the darkness in Hollywood, and they don't want to be associated with it, or, you know what I mean? Brendan Fraser dropped out. Haley Joel Osment, in a way, kind of dropped out of Hollywood, out of the limelight. yeah, everyone I like seems to just kind of like distance themselves from Hollywood, and I felt like Haley did that. Like, he played in Sixth Sense, and then he played as Sora, but I really can't tell you anything else he did. Like, let me know in the comments if you know like any other movies or whatever, but he really didn't do that much. He just kind of made his money, got his bag, and left Hollywood, you know. So he was arrested at a Mammoth Mountain ski resort. Apparently what had happened is he had went to the bar at the ski resort, and they never really got full details, so I'm not sure if the ski resort was telling the bartender like, hey, keep this on the DL, because as someone who has bartended and worked at hang on, power steering. As someone who has bartended and worked at a fancier dining establishment, Beaumont Inn, I've talked about it on this channel before. It was like a 4-star restaurant. I actually did a whole episode. Go check it out. It's called Ghost of Beaumont Inn, because it's super old. Been around since the Civil War. There's a lot of ghost stories and experiences and weird shit that I've heard about or experienced there. So go check that episode out. It's a good one. It's worth listening to if you like paranormal. So, like, working for that type of company, a higher end, like, ritzy place, you know, they tell you, like, you can't talk like this, you can't say this, you can't. There's tons of fucking rules. It's one thing that it became like a miserable work experience, because like I would just get in trouble all the time. Like, Abe, you gotta shave your face. Hey, your hair's too messy today. Hey, I noticed you called that guy dude or man, you know. I know you know him and you guys are buddies, but we gotta call everyone sir, and you know what I mean? Stupid shit. So I'm assuming, this is just my theory, that he went to the bar and they said that he was already like pretty fucked up, like drunk, and I think they probably cut him off, said no, you can't have a drink, you know. Which, by the way, can you imagine skiing like while like smashed? Like, that'd be so fucking hard, man. As someone who is like, I do a little bit of athletics shit, like I skateboard once in a blue moon, but every time I've hopped on the board while I was like drunk, like, it was hard as fuck. Like, your body doesn't want to move right, you're falling off of it. Like, it's just like, yeah, dude, it's impossible to skateboard while drunk. So I can't imagine skiing while just like completely obliterated. So then after he was cut off, which is my theory, they said that he became like belligerent in the bar, was like getting rowdy and like fussing with staff and shit. So they kicked him out. And I'm assuming, because I've never been to a ski resort, I've never been to any resort, because I've grew up in like a poorish family, you know, and I've never been super wealthy myself. I'm assuming that it's probably like the movies, like everyone has walkie-talkies and can talk to each other. Like, hell, we had walkie-talkies at Kroger, man. So he left the bar and he was going to the lift to get lifted up the mountain so he could ski, when that's apparently where they were like, no, like, you're not skiing today. And apparently they had taken him to the parking lot and police arrived, and that's when the mayhem started. So he was stated as calling the cops a Nazi, which this article kept saying that he used a anti-Semitic slur. I'm wondering if they're talking about the use of the word Nazi, that he was calling a cop a Nazi. Because I'm like, that's not an anti-Semitic slur. But then again, dude, like, they're really pushing this whole anti-Semitism shit right now with the whole Israel and Palestine bullshit, which you guys know my opinion. Like, I'm pro-Palestine. I'm not like super fucking liberal and stupid about it, and I'm very anti-Israel, like, because their government, not the actual people, but like, yeah, Israel's evil as fuck. I would say they're probably more evil than America, our government, dude. But anyways, with the ADL and all that shit, like, they're really pushing this whole anti-Semitism bullshit. So I'm like, if they're talking about him calling the cop a Nazi, like, that's not even anti-Semitic, because that's literally calling the cop a German who was killing the Jews. Like, that doesn't even make sense. He said that he will punish them for inconveniencing him. I do have to say, like, I can't help but laugh because of, like, the shit that he was saying. So he got arrested for public intoxication, was the first charge. And in the video and the footage, go watch the video and footage, by the way. I'm just wanting to talk about it in general. In the video and the footage, during his arrest, obviously he was searched and he had all these bags and shit on him because he was skiing and shit that day. They found cocaine. I've never done cocaine. I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like, that is one drug that I've always been super curious about trying. The only reason I don't do it is because I know that I would really fucking love it. And I could see me just getting on coke and, like, ruining my life on it, like blowing my entire bank account within like a month, you know, on coke. Just doing bumps all the fucking time, you know. Because I've done like uppers in the past, and I just love the up feeling, you know. That, and I've just heard just amazing fun ass stories about it, like how women are freaks on it. Like, yeah, I could just see me just being like geeked out, like, yeah, let's podcast. Let's do 10 podcasts today. Whoa, just jacked up on it. But yeah, and I don't know, another reason I've never tried coke, and I know I shouldn't try it. I can't say that I never will try it. Like, if someone put a line of coke and it was like good cocaine, not laced with like baby laxative, or, well, I don't even think I'd mind the baby laxative, but like the if it wasn't laced with like fentanyl, because that's what I was gonna say is Sam Tripoli. I listen to him all the time, and you guys know, if you do listen to him, like, he used to be a huge fucking cokehead back in the day, and he says, dude, he's like, I don't even understand how people still do coke nowadays, like, because a lot of it's laced with fucking fentanyl, dude. And the sad thing is, I was talking to a cop, dude, the other day. Not that I'm like a bootlicker or nothing, but they do come into the gas station where I work, and I was talking to him, and he was talking about how bad fentanyl was out there. And I'm like, so what's it mostly in? He's like, dude, it's in everything. I'm like, even weed? And he's like, yep. I'm like, that's lame, you know. Kind of admitting that I smoke weed. But it's crazy, man. Can you imagine just doing something as harmless as smoking a joint and just literally dying from it? Like, it's fucking sad, because like, they're literally killing innocent marijuana users, you know. And what he was saying is, he says the exact same shit the Sam Tripoli says, which I kind of believe, is the fentanyl's coming up from Mexico. But what it is China is shipping fentanyl to Mexico, and Mexico is like processing it there and shit with labs and shit, lacing everything with it. And then the drugs come up through south of the border and get into our streets. And it's a lot of people think that it's literally chemical warfare on the American people from China. And I kind of believe that conspiracy, you know? Like, oh, you guys want to use drugs? We'll just send you guys drugs and you guys can kill yourselves. So that way it's easier for us to take over, you know? You guys know my thoughts and feelings on China. I'm very fearful of them. I'm not afraid of China. I shouldn't say fearful. I'm not afraid of China, but I'm very concerned. I do think they are a big fucking threat, and we should probably be focusing on them like a lot closer, you know. China. But hey, man, I mean, maybe he's got a good dealer and shit, and he gets the pure shit. I mean, he is Haley Joel Osment, so he would be able to get, I'm sure, non-fentanyl coke, you know. So when he was arrested for public intoxication and cocaine, the officer asked him, "What's your name?" And he responded, "I'm an American." And then he, when they were arresting him, he just fell onto the ground and said, "I'm being attacked. You all are torturing me." And like I said, I'm laughing just because I've been in fucked up situations. You guys know me. I've been arrested like 3 times. One of them was public intoxication, you know. So I feel that I can laugh, you know, because I've been fucked up, man. Like, you guys know me. I've struggled with alcoholism and drug use, and I've been fucked up plenty of times in my fucking life and embarrassed the shit out of myself, you know. So on the way to the jailhouse, he did apologize. He said, "Hey, I am sorry." And he was complaining about his cuffs being too tight and hurting him, you know. And the cop said, "It's okay, but we're still gonna have to book you in and put you in a holding cell." So his response was, "What if I have a really good lawyer?" And the guy said, "That's after the fact, you know. Worry about that after we book you in and arrest you. Like, you're getting arrested, dude. Your lawyer can't fucking stop that." Like, it does show you, like, the entitlement of being rich and just being like, "Well, I have a really good lawyer, you know, like, he can take care of anything, you know." It's like, no, he can't. And besides, you're going to go see a judge either the next morning or they'll send you home and you'll see him like a month later. That's how they do it in Kentucky. Anytime I've been arrested, I always got sent home usually the next day, and they'd be like, "Hey, your court date's in a month, you know. Show up or we'll put a warrant out for you," you know. That's when you deal with the whole lawyer shit, if you want. So he did apologize, and apparently it took him a minute to apologize. He said that he's just been like in a low place right now, which I get it, dude. I've been arrested multiple times. Like I said, I'm a little criminal, and those periods of times after your arrest and before your court date are stressful as hell, because first of all, we have a mean ass fucking judge here in Kentucky. His name is Dotson. And, like, dude, everyone has stories about Dotson. Like, he does not fuck around, dude. Yeah, I've told stories, and I'm not gonna rehash them, but I've told stories about Dotson on here. Like, I'm scared of Dotson. You know, it's always yes sir, no sir, you know. Hands out of your pocket, dress nice. Like, Dotson don't fuck around. So I've always been, like, very fearful and anxious during that whole time period before my court dates and shit. So I do understand what he's saying, man, that it is a low in your life, you know, going through that shit. And he did take a minute to apologize, because I guess he didn't realize that he had said something anti-Semitic, which they never did say what he said, so I'm still confused on that one. Unless they're referring to the Nazi thing, but even This is why mainstream journalism is dead. They are so scared of the Jews, man. That they won't even like censor spell it. Like, you know, oh, he said kike or something. You know what I mean? Like, what did he say, dude? What did he say? It's gonna drive me nuts. If you've heard this story and investigated it yourself, hit me up in the comments. I want to know, because the only thing I can think is the Nazi thing, which I still don't see how that's anti-Semitic. But he was like, hey, I didn't realize I was saying that crazy shit. I do apologize for that. Saving face, you know, and I get it. He probably still wants to somewhat work in Hollywood. You know, cocaine doesn't pay for itself. And by the way, I love Haley Joel Osment, you know. I don't know what's going on with his personal life. I mean, he was a kid actor in Hollywood. And you guys know us, like Conspiracy Corner Podcast, we cover the darkness of Hollywood and the evil shit that goes on in Hollywood. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, he was molested, you know. I'm not going to say that that's what happened. But I'm sure he's seen some darkness in Hollywood. Got invited to some parties or just knew about weird shit going on set with certain people. And you can't be that big, because Sixth Sense was a huge fucking movie, you know. And he worked with Disney during Kingdom Hearts. And we all know how shady fucking Disney is. So, like, it would not... I'm not going to just make up conspiracy theories. As much as I love conspiracy theories, I'm not just going to sit there and make up shit. A lot of these other channels will. I'm not that type of dude. But it wouldn't surprise me if I heard a story that, hey, Haley Joel Osment was messed with by this dude. You know, I wouldn't just automatically believe it, but it'd be like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Not one bit, you know. So that's gonna have an effect on your life, dude. It's not always a guarantee, but it's a possibility that you could become like a fucked up drug user, an alcohol abuser. Like, I mean, look at like Amanda Bynes. Fucking Miley Cyrus went off the deep end for a little bit. That Gabby chick, she went crazy. I think she was Hollywood. Macaulay Culkin started looking pretty bad for a minute. Like sick, real skinny, real pale, like looked like he was on some drugs and shit. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. The two Corys, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, I mean, I kept up with that story. I never really reported on it, but I did keep up with that story and shit. And Hollywood fucks these kids up, man. And by the way, can I just say this? I don't care. Y'all can say, huh, gay. Haley Joel Osment is a little cutie. He still looks like the little kid from Sixth Sense. He's just like chunky monkey now. But he still has that fucking baby face. So, if he is a cocaine and alcohol user, like, it really didn't look like it aged him much, man. He still looks fucking good, man. He's got a baby fucking face. I just noticed that with people. Because, dude, I was born with bags under my eyes. Like, I wish that I had, like, old baby photos. Or could show you guys, like, old films of my grandma filming me when I was a baby. Like, dude, I always was, like, with bags under my... I looked rough. I've always looked fucking rough. And even my dad would say it. Like, he's like, dude, you're gonna age horribly. And I smoke. I used to do drugs. I drank like a fish back in the day, so like I know I look rough as fuck, dude. I'll never forget, I was doing a live stream one time. This is earlier this year when I was going through psychosis and shit. So I would do live streams randomly every now and then. And Someone in the comments section said, "You look really old, yet super young at the same time. It's confusing my brain." And I was like, I love it. I look super old and super young at the same time. It's confusing my brain. How the fuck old are you? The dude said. I'm like, I just said I'm a vampire. I've lived for 1,000 years. But no, I'm 33. Illuminati confirmed. But I don't know, I wanted to just talk about that story because it kind of bummed me out, man, because I love Haley Joel Osment. And I doubt he's watching, but if he is watching, like, there is help out there. Like, I would suggest getting into, like, Alcoholics Anonymous at the very least. Maybe rehab, you know, like, I don't think everyone just automatically needs rehab, you know. Like, let's just say, like, he's really not a big drug user. Maybe he just, you know, had a part, like, maybe this was his birthday or something, and he was just like, hey, I'm gonna go spend a week at a ski resort, do a shit ton of cocaine, drink a shit ton, go skiing, have fun with my boys, because it looked like it was all dudes there. You know, I don't see that as a problem. If someone likes to get cut loose and get a little wild, like once a year or something, or 2 or 3 times a year, but they're not like a chronic user, I don't see that as a problem. So I'm not saying like, hey, he needs rehab, you know. And this is coming from someone who's been to rehab. And this is coming from someone who's, you know, went to Alcoholics Anonymous and goes to Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. Not all the time, but I do every now and then when I feel I need it. It's kind of like my church. But I don't know, man. And I'm sure there's alcoholics out there who'd be like, oh, that's not the right answer, you know. Using it once is bad. And I don't know. I just don't have that mindset. I don't see anything wrong with the occasional cocaine and alcohol, you know. Maybe that's just me, but so I don't know if he needs like rehab and IOP and shit, but I do hope he gets better. I wish the best for him. And if he is watching, like, there is help out there. I would say he at least needs to go to like Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, because that doesn't hurt. You don't have to go every fucking day. You can go like once a week, once a month. Just a meeting every now and then. Just go to it, experience it, because it is cool as fuck. I fell in love with it. Like, when I first went to meetings, I was like, okay, I dig this shit. I like it. It's kind of therapeutic to just talk and get, which you guys know me, I love talking and shit in general, because hence I have a podcast, but I don't know. I felt like it gave me it made me a better person. And there's like moral codes and steps, like the STEP program is really cool on different things, like making amendments. I've even said that, dude, even non-alcoholics should read the big book and apply it to their life, because some of that shit is just helpful in general, even with it not being alcohol related, like amendments. It's almost like being in a special club. Not that we're like better than other people, but we have to make amendments. And no one makes amendments. Like, people who are not alcoholics, they just don't make amendments. It's so fucking sad too, because it's like, dude, it is such a relief off of your shoulders when you go up to someone who you've wronged and are just like, hey man, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry for everything. And the thing is they even tell you when you're doing that step, like, even if they don't accept your apology, you're good. Your conscience is clear and you're good in the sight of God, you know, your higher power. You're good. You did everything you could, you know. And they even tell you too, if making an amendment to a certain person is actually going to cause them more harm, you don't have to make that amendment, you know. And just little nuggets of fucking golden, beautiful knowledge and wisdom that I've gained from Alcoholics Anonymous, that it's like, even if you're not an alcoholic, like applying certain things to your life are like, it's like, dude, it makes life better, you know? I don't know. I love Haley Joel Osment. I didn't think it would take the whole episode, but I enjoyed talking about it. Let me guys know what you guys think about the whole arrest and what you guys think about Haley Joel Osment in general. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 500 subscribers. I gained 2. Knock on wood, unless they drop off again, you know. But hey, that's cool. 2 new subs in like a day or 2, so that's cool. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day.